What's going on, guys? It's your boy TB here at SMB Trading. Got a hot vid here today for you. We got some great, amazing inflation news today. We got our PPI, Producer Price Index report came out today, and we have a ice cold number. So we knew earlier before this came out through CPI that inflation was beginning to cool. Inflation pressure was beginning to cool. I mean, 7% is still very high inflation, but we did not see the PPI number coming out, and PPI is very huge. That is one of the main uh, one. It's probably the main statistic that the Fed looks at in terms of inflation. So economists, God, my cat's going crazy. Economists were expecting about 0.4% over the month of October, and we only got 0.2%. That's half of the estimate. That's crazy. And obviously, we got stocks reacting, as you might imagine. They are nice and green today. But year-over-year basis, we have a 8% compared to an 8.4% that we had in September. So you do the math there, and that 0.2% times 12, man, that's like 2.4% PPI inflation if we stay at this rate year over year. That's fantastic. Really something. And the market just could not be more thrilled with this. This is great. But we did have reports come out earlier, or I think yesterday, that the Fed's mad that the stocks, the Fed wants to kill us investors. They want to kill the stock market. They want to just hammer it down because that is inflationary when the stocks are going crazy, of course, wealth effect. But they are mad that the stocks are going so crazy. But it's like, what do you expect people to do? Of course, people are going to start buying when they see inflation coming down. Everyone's afraid of missing the bottom. There's so much FOMO out there. People are going to buy, buy, buy. And we just came off like the greenest week ever. I mean, next to March of 2020. So bullish pressures are feeling like it's at an all-time high. It feels like the bulls are completely in control of the market, and that is huge. And this is just great news. It just is a perfect inflation sandwich, good news sandwich. This on top of the CPI report that we got last week. It's fantastic. I mean, there's just no way around it. But this isn't just an all clear. This is a sign that it is beginning to slow. We got this back in July. We had a little slowdown in July, and what did the market do? It went crazy throughout the month of August. And then Powell came out and said, no, 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 inflation's still bad. And then we got the next report, and he's like, yes, 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 see, I was right, inflation is still bad. And we went straight back down. Next big, major, huge leg down, all the way from like 420 on SPY to 350. So this is just great news. That's really all there is to say about it. Other than that, we have other news. Russia fired a couple missiles into Poland, so that is certainly something that we want to monitor because it triggered this sell program right here. Right when this news came out here at 10:15, we got a big sell-off. I mean, we dropped a full 1.5% off the Nasdaq on that news. So that was major news. Definitely going to keep monitoring that situation. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want quick updates on that. I will be updating that because that is a major development. That is a NATO country. That is Russia firing into a NATO country that we are in NATO. Yeah, geopolitical, yada yada. Still to be seen if it was like an accidental, if they're trying to provoke, if it's worth being taken seriously. Two people were killed, but just something to monitor. And clearly stocks are worried about that because we got a crazy amount of selling volume that came in the second that hit the headlines. But anyways, if you guys watched my last video, I talked about the rally, and I mean, here it is. This is the rally. We've gotten it. We are well off the bottom. I mean, if you missed this back in October, we're probably not seeing these prices again in 2020. I would venture to guess, but that doesn't mean there aren't still gains to be had. I personally have been I took profits off today. I mean, I was invested in AMD, so I'm going to talk about a nice winner. I took about $300 in profit, or about $320 in profit on AMD. I bought AMD down here at about $61 a share, and we have gotten about a 30% climb on AMD. And this climb really started over here. We got a 32% climb from AMD from the 9th to over here, the 15th. So AMD is not a penny stock. If you are holding something and it goes up 30%, you should really think about taking some profit off the table. I mean, to me, it's just common sense in this market. Anything can happen. Russia can shoot a missile somewhere and then market dumps. So this is not the time to be greedy. This is the time to think about taking profits if you bought when well over here before the CPI. I ended up buying because I saw AMD consolidating so much. I talked about that on here. I said AMD is stuck in this range, and it has been in this range for so long. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, this is like 3 weeks it was stuck in this range. So when it's in a range consolidating that hard, that just means it's going to get that much bigger of a push out of it, whichever direction it goes. It could have gone down, it would have plummeted down. But we got that good CPI report, so it broke out to the upside, and then that means a huge move to the upside, and it moved huge. We got 14% day, a 6% day, a 1.5% day yesterday, and a 4% day today. And then look at AMD. I told you guys about this trend line. I said, watch this trend line, and it hit my target. This was my target, was this trend line. So that is the most important thing about trades. You enter the trade and you tell yourself where you're going to cut losses and where you're going to take profits, and you don't deviate from that ever. And I mean ever. You deviate from that, and then that's what makes the robots so much better at trading, is that they don't get greedy. They don't see, oh, AMD's still going up, why should I sell now? What if it keeps going up? They are programmed to sell when it hits the target that they're waiting for, and that's why they're better than humans. So you have to make yourself as much like a robot as you can, and the only way to do that is by following your rules, because without your rules, you're nothing more than just a little emotional child in this market. And I said this was my target, was this trend line, and I sold damn near close to it at about 76.50 a share. So I'm thrilled with that. The trade worked out. I got 30% gain. I only bought like 20 shares. Obviously, but you look back in time, I was like, why didn't I buy 100? It was such a good price. Doesn't matter. So now that we have run up to resistance, you know we're going to reject, which we already have. We rejected on this line to the dot. Look at this. I mean, this was so perfect today, guys. It rejected off of that to the dot. And then look at the selling pressure. Sell, sell, sell. The computer started selling. See that? That's the robot selling. The computer said, boom, there's our target. We hit resistance. We bought way down here. So we're going to start selling way up here, and that's profit. Why would we not do that? So do what the computers do, basically. And you could see that clear as day. Just selling, selling, selling for about half an hour straight. It was just taking profit, taking profit. And now it's all about where do we find support. And we have gotten a rejection. Now we wait for a retest. I'm going to watch and see if AMD comes down here and maybe retests maybe down here around 73.50. If it does bounce off of that, I like it to the upside because I think it will break out of this trend line resistance that we have at some point. Whether it happens this year or not, it's too hard to say, too soon to tell, but this is just a beautiful trade. So I sold, took profit on AMD. I sold and took profit on, not take profit, I took a loss, but I am just going to, I mean, you see Google go up 20% in about, what is that? 8 trading sessions, and you don't take profit, I think you're a madman. And Google could still keep going straight up from here. Obviously, that would suck if it does, but we ran right up to this level I had, this perfect level at 150. I said that's the level to watch, guys. You guys got to subscribe. You got to hit the bell. You want to see these videos because I told you, I'll watch 150. This is because this is just a big gap. So a lot of people might just see this gap and just be like, why wouldn't we just go straight through this whole thing and fill it? But I said, no. There's going to be a level that we hit eventually that is going to reject off of it, that sellers are going to step up at, and it was just this level, almost to a dot. I mean, look at that. It was about 10 cents off. Just beautiful. I love technical analysis, man. So I sold my Google. I took a loss on it, but I'm really just at the point where I just want to be cash because I have no idea what's going to happen next. I don't think the market can go significantly lower until the FOMC meeting in December. So I think we're bullish for the rest of this month easily, probably the rest of this year, but we will see a lot of red come the FOMC, I promise you. But I'm just saying, in general, when the market just goes crazy straight up, there's going to be points where you just have to tell yourself, this is going to be a point where I'm comfortable taking profits. And especially after this last week we've had, it's just been a crazy week. So I'm going to talk about my levels now that I'm looking at on the Nasdaq, on the triple Qs. So I had all these lines drawn pre-today, and I love when I draw lines on the chart and then I revisit it, and the lines were just, the level, or the levels I should say, the levels were just all perfect. I mean, we ran straight up to 293. We reject, retest, reject, retest, reject. So we know that we have sellers. We know we got sellers sitting here. The sellers are there. They are selling it out of that. And then for the time being, we did have buyers at this level. I said earlier, 291. We were bouncing off of it, bouncing off, and then look what happened. Polling news, we dump. So now we know that we have support in this zone, and this is also a demand zone where people are buying out of it right here. So we know we got some support right here in this 285 to 284.50 range on the Nasdaq. So this is just, I love when the market gives you charts like this. It's just as easy as it gets. You know where support is, you know where resistance is. You can trade based off of those much easier than when we were in some choppy range. But to me, this is untouchable as long as we stay in between 286 and 292. I think this could be a trading range maybe for the rest of the week, unless we do get some big news later on. Who knows what can happen, really. But just super clean levels. I'll go over my levels on the S&P too. SPX. And the S&P is even better levels. So looking at the hourly chart, we have a super duper clear hourly demand zone right here where buyers are stepping up. And that is just right where support is right there. You can look at it on the 5-minute chart. Look right where we bounced off of the low from yesterday. Bounced straight off of it. Pew, big buy. Boom, big buy. So we ripped through this zone right here. This was back in Thursday, CPI day. We ripped through this so quickly that there are still buy orders waiting here at 39.50 on SPX. There are still buy orders waiting. And that is why you see every dip get bought out of that range. And that's basically where we are on the SPX. And then we have our resistance up here at about the 40-20 range. So we're in a range now. And I wouldn't be shocked if we did see some red to close this week because the market has been so hot. It's like anything else. You're going to get a hangover. You go out and party too hard. You're going to wake up next morning and you're going to have to be like, whoa, I'm not feeling so good. I got to slow down a little bit. People are going to take a little profit off the table. And that is just bound to happen no matter how good news is. It's just going to happen. So that is what I'm prepared for. I'm watching for dips. I already gave my levels on AMD, but looking at Amazon, we are right on top of this. Look at the supply zone. I mean, this is just so easy. Perfect supply zone. Sellers are waiting up here at the 104 range, and that's where we opened up today. And we opened up to just massive selling on Amazon, just big sell orders coming in on Amazon. But we do know our support is right here at 97 on Amazon, so watch out for that if you like a dip on that level. Looking at the big boy Apple. Another stock where I had these two levels set perfectly. I mean, I had these levels set yesterday. No, this was like weeks ago I had these levels set. We run up to 153.50, bounce right off of it. We get that terrible news, and look right where we bounce off of. 148, this level I had over here. Oh, how? It's just so, it's perfect. I love it. But Apple is another one that has had a crazy bounce off the bottom, and it could be due for a hangover. So watch out for that. We know sellers are waiting up here in this range at 153.60 and above that. So we know buyers are down here at 148.70. So just wait and see if we break out of that to the upside. That could be a new demand zone. And yeah, really, that's what I'm seeing right now. And it looks like the market is about to close, and we are going to close comfortably green on a pretty decent volume day. But this is the level I told you all on the Nasdaq. I said this was where we rejected off of previously. Looking at the four, actually, let's just look at the NDX cleaner. No, let's go back Qs. I can just hide the drawings. Forget I can do that. I told y'all this is where sellers are. They're gonna be waiting right there, right here in this little box, and that is ultimately the level to reclaim is 294. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing, guys. That's the way the market's cooking up right now. I think we will not see a big red day until at least December, unless we get some crazy news. Until then, the market's looking bullish. But if you haven't bought, if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, well, I should buy calls right now, do not do it. It's too late. to buy calls on this current rally. You want to wait for a pullback. There will be pullbacks. I'm not saying there won't be a pullback. I'm just saying there won't be like another minus 4% day anytime soon until at least FOMC. So be very cautious. Don't go short. Don't buy the top here. Just wait and see. The market will tell you. React. Do not predict. You want to react. And just trade your plan. That's really all you can do. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell, daily notifications here, boys. And yeah, let's keep it running. This has been a fantastic rally.